We got severe weather. It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television. You are watching First Warning Live. We are tracking the storms here on Juneteenth. Some of them are strong, some of them are severe. And this is all brought to you and sponsored by Marco's. We're going to talk about a pizza delivery and free pizza in just a moment. But I got to first get to the weather, because what's most important right now is what's happening in your neighborhood, because that's what we're focused on. The storms that are popping have been showing up all over the eastern shore over the last few minutes. This is what's active right now. Can we zoom in a little bit tighter? We sure can. We got one warning that's expected to expire here in just about 4 minutes. 7:45, hail size just about 0.75, so under an inch. That's a little smaller than a George Washington quarter. This storm is basically on its way out. This is expiring here in a few moments, and most of it's now moving the red areas over open water. Now what's watching is the one over Exmoor. This one's moving to the east at 45 miles per hour. So if we were to do a track on this particular storm, it's already impacting areas around the Exmoor Diner. Yes, I know, because I've been there. And those areas over there. And this is moving to east 45 miles an hour. It's not going to take long before this gets ejected out into the Atlantic Ocean. But it should be over Onancock here at 7:44, which is just a few minutes now if it's not there already. I'm looking at the Daughtry area at 7:48, and there's an elementary school I don't want to mispronounce, but that alone is one of the storms that could be producing quarter-size hail as well as damaging wind. We want to make sure that you're safe, and these things will pass too, but we have to get through the next couple minutes. This will run until 8 o'clock, the storm that you see here. This is severe and has the potential, as I come back on camera for a second, this has the potential to produce about penny-size hail, maybe not the quite size of a quarter, but as this continues to move off to the east, keep in mind, maybe some of these storms that have rolled through tonight haven't affected you yet. They have just extended the severe thunderstorm watch to 11. It was to go to 9, now it's going to go to 11, because there's more energy coming up from where? North Carolina. So North Carolina's been maybe immune from these storms so far, but this is just a sample of what's coming. So we now have a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 o'clock. These warnings you see on the screen just illustrate where that storm is now on the eastern shore. And there's some hail cores. You can see them in red, you can see them in purple. They're now moving just southwest of Chincoteague, and they're still concerned there. Some severe weather's been breaking out all the way up and down the mid-Atlantic today, this evening. Much of it's beginning to slow down in the Philadelphia area, but there's this active weather right now that's moving just to the south. If we could zoom in a little bit tighter. This is an area that's just south of Northampton County. That has my eye, because I think this is the reason. This is the reason that our severe thunderstorm watch has been extended. So just to give you some bird's eye view, a lot of lightning flashing on the screen. We can stop it, but this puts really where the burden is right now. And it's in this area around Franklin, Halifax, Nash, and Warren until 8:15. And this also includes Brunswick, Greensville, Mecklenburg, and Northampton until 8:15. So now we have technicality maybe because of what we might consider a TV viewing area. But if you're in the Northampton area, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning until 8:15. My recommendation is pretty simple, and I'm going to track this for us here in a second, but I just real simple. If you have patio furniture, you have seat cushions, you have a trampoline, bring them in, secure them up, because these storms that are coming up from the Northampton area will be sliding into places like Elizabeth City, could be sliding into Duck, and some of these places will be important as the evening wears on, because again, it's only 7:44, but these storms are headed in this direction. I just want you to be aware and be prepared, as things will be changing. Now, if you want some comfort food, I can't do this without a good sponsor. And as I change gears, I want to say to you that Marco's is giving away free pizza for a year to one of our viewers tonight. And if you haven't heard, these are 5 great locations, 3 in Virginia Beach, 1 in Chesapeake, and 1 in Norfolk, Hampton Boulevard. But this certificate that they're going to be awarded will be sent to them in the mail, and they'll be able to get 1 large, 1-topping pizza monthly for the next year for free. Gotta love that. And we also are providing you, if you want to use it, use the promo code WTKR50 right through Saturday. You can get half off your purchase price of anything you buy. We would rather you not go hungry. We want you to save you some money. You're watching us First Warning Live, and we're just trying something different, just trying something new. We want you to be able to be prepared. So let's get back to the maps. What's most important, as some of these storms have been talking about, I'm going to check my my information stream here. Most of these, again, are moving right about, let's see here, 45. Yep, about 45 miles per hour. So we'll just draw a track here. Pretty easy to do, as this will be headed in the direction of Roanoke Rapids and Enfield. So if we move this out, I'll make sure I have the right spot here. And yep, here it is. This one is moving. This is basically western Northampton, southwestern Greensville, southeastern Mecklenburg County in south central Virginia, and southern Brunswick County in south central Virginia until 8:15. It's moving east at 55 miles per hour. So this should be, let's see if I clear this off. Yep, I goofed on that one. Let's chart over, because I was too busy reading. Let's clear that off, and we'll grab it again, because that's what's nice about when you're live streaming. You can make mistakes and start over. We're going to go east 55. Where's 55? Tell me when I get there. Is that 55? It looks like 55 to me. Drop it. We've got Grove Hill at 7:45, Littleton at 7:51, and looks like South Rosemary at 8:04. So this would get into Northampton County before 8:15. It's just so important, in my view, that you are very aware. It's been very hot, humid today. Some folks have had a real tough time with the humidity. It's not just the heat, we know, it's the humidity too. But that's where things, it's been taxing, right? You spend any time outside. I'm going to move this over here. This gives you an idea of where they're going to be, and we have 2 warnings that go until 8:15. It is 7:45. If you're on the call, let me know. I want to say hi to you. I haven't even had a chance with all the multitasking that I'm doing. I didn't have a chance to get you in the conversation, but I want to put your comment on the screen using the software that we have. This way you get recognized. I might be able to even read some comments. I see Denmark, bad storm here in Williamsburg for about 30 minutes. Hello, says Kim Thompson-Jones. Hello. And I got other notes too, so they trickle in. But just to be clear, this is the one that we need to watch over the next few minutes, because it's going to eventually evolve and head toward places like Elizabeth City. And Elizabeth City, as I mentioned, same thing applies. If you've got porch furniture, cushions, seat cushions, flags, homeowners association, any kind of flags, any kind of things that's not secure, trash cans. If today was your trash can pickup day, those cans could easily be down the street, and I'm sure you don't want your trash in someone else's yard. Just throwing it out there. But these will be around, say, Roanoke Rapids at 8:06 and Garysburg shortly thereafter. Now, bigger picture, right? Lots of humidity. We mentioned the Eastern Shore. I've heard from Denmark that we've had some issues with Williamsburg, maybe 30, he said for 30 minutes. It looked like power was flickering. That's what this will do. This will take down trees. Let's do that. I mean, can we see the storm reports? You want some evidence? Look at that. Look at that. Those are local storm reports. Every last one of these little squares that you see on the screen represent downed trees. So you know, with all this humidity in the air, it's like lighting a match. Lighting a match, and these are really going to continue to, now if I zoom a little bit tighter, it might be easier to see. But even if I stop it, right, and just say, well, what was this one? Well, let's check. Let's just do a check in here. What's this one? This one says it's 6:25. There was a tree down on I-95 near mile marker 24. Okay, that's good. That's a good start. Do we have anything more? Absolutely we do. How about one just northeast of it? Let's check and see what that one's saying. This one right northeast of that one suggests that we had 6:30 Booker tree down on State Route 626 near Virginia 35. Time estimated from the radar. We got another one up here in the Eastern Shore. Damage here, 7:20. That was just a few minutes ago. 20 was about 28 minutes ago. 48 mile an hour winds along Silver Beach. The weather flow site had a 42 knot gust. So what I'm trying to illustrate to you is you may not have had a storm yet in the heart of Virginia Beach or Elizabeth City. Not yet. But with the Accomack Northampton till 8, we've already looked at the one that was near Northampton till 8:15. It's very important that you take these storms seriously. I mean, the skies might get dark, and all you need is the evidence is right in front of you. Look, I mean, just look. I mean, I could like, well, we got 1, we got 2, we got 3, 4. I mean, I could lose count of how many storm reports are coming in. There's a lot. And so if this history is telling us anything, it says, hey, we got to be mindful these storms could knock out your power. We heard about power flickering, all this. And this was a marine thunderstorm wind, about 48 miles an hour. So the weather flow was at Poquoson. They had about a 42 knot wind in Poquoson, just another example of these strong winds. Okay, I got to keep moving. Not because, well, I don't want to get off the severe weather, but I want to give you all the information that you need in a concise form. And to be fair, I got to get back to television too, because I might have to cut in as those storms approach Ahoskie or Franklin. Something else could suddenly pop here in the next few minutes. So I want to make sure that you are aware. If you're on the call, please let me know. I am going to do my best now. I've been multitasking. I'm going to put you back on the screen. Okay, let's see here. Just have to toggle this, cross the T and dot the I, something like that. And we'll get these comments in here just as fast as I can. All right, as we continue to move down the path here, the humidity is high. The front is moving through West Virginia. It's around Beckley right now. So that front is going to drop the humidity just a wee bit. Certainly it's going to drop the temperature a bit tomorrow. Just a little bit, just enough for you to say, okay, let me see how this looks. Okay, let's see. Got a note from Sunny. I tell her she's got a great weather name. Sunny's over here. Thank you for being here, Sunny. She wants to know, are there any storms going to pass through Chesapeake? Certainly possible. Like I said, if you've got patio furniture, I'm putting the number 1 on there. First question of the day. Yeah, if you have concerns for patio furniture, trash can pickup, if your trash cans are still maybe at the edge of the driveway, make sure they're secure. It's a great question, but thank you, Sunny, for that. I've got another note that might be trickling in here. Who else I got here? Damien. I don't know if his picture will show up, but he's got, oh yeah, he's feeling defeated. Hang in there, Damien. We'll do our best to get all the comments on the screen as best I can. All right, let's get to the hail size comparisons. When oftentimes we see 0.75, what does that mean? Well, that's a penny. When you say 1.0, that's a George Washington quarter. So what we've been observing from the observations and all those storm reports is that what most people are getting right now, where there is some hail, they're getting some of the penny size hail. So that's what's still on the table. That storm system west of Roanoke Rapids will continue to grow. It's got a lot of rocket fuel to work with. The dew points are high, and that's why the severe thunderstorm warning, the watch, because we've been looking at warnings, the watch has been extended. This has now been extended to 11 o'clock. It was to go to bed at 9, but when they saw this new line forming, and some of the models were very good at discerning that, now we have to add North Carolina. So we'll keep an eye on it. Some might be expiring at 9. If you've already had some nasty weather in Williamsburg, you may have had the worst that you're going to get all night. But the areas that haven't had any rain, haven't had any storms, those are the ones I'm going to watch closely like a hawk. Bigger picture, we got severe weather all over the country. I want to stay focused here. But just for comparison, there's some of those orange polygons in Minnesota, Nebraska, North Dakota, up toward Maine. What we're most concerned about is what's going on here. And what's going on here extends down toward Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, and of course the Eastern Shore, we just talked about that, and the Exmoor till about 8 o'clock. And there's that 0.75. That's a penny. 0.75 penny size hail going through Exmoor and perhaps even Onancock at this point. So clearly, you've got another 20 minutes or so in Onancock to get this out of here. Things will improve very, very soon, I assure you. And it's almost 8 o'clock. Now, the severe weather threat that the Storm Prediction Center had put out, they added this orange area over the Philadelphia, South Jersey area today. They basically moved that to level 3, which means, if you're not familiar with the legend, just basically means numerous severe storms were expected in these orange areas. But we, here in Hampton Roads, Northeast North Carolina, they're still expecting yellow, which would be the scattered severe storm, like you scatter grass seed. It's kind of like that, right? So this was what was on the table before the day started. And with the moderate risk for damaging wind, that's what we're worried about. Straight line winds tonight. They could snap trees, and in essence, if you snap a tree, you're going to possibly lose power. And it's very important that those who had not had any storms yet, you still got that possibility tonight. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Current temperatures off the chart, 95 is what it feels like right now in Virginia Beach. 89 in Virginia is the actual temperature. Manio feels like 92. Hampton, you're rain cooled. You've got 79 as far as your feels like temperature, and 86 degrees in Franklin. I got another note. Oh, Jamal's made a point. This is a good point. He says, man, the sun's back out. That can't be good, or can it? Maybe if you've already had a storm, Jamal, you might be, maybe things will improve for you. Because I'm concerned of what's coming up from Raleigh and Roanoke Rapids, and Ahoskie might be next. So would be Edenton and Elizabeth City. That's what we're going to see on the modeling here in just a moment. Let me keep moving. It is 7:54, almost 7:55. And I do want to give away some free pizza. I know people who are hungry and just say, hey, how can I save me some money? We're trying something new here. Work with us. I just want to be able to be of help to you. And our friends at Marco's have been really helpful for us. We want you to just be mindful. 75 in Ahoskie and 75 in Chesapeake. Those were the starting point. We hit 93 today. That ties what we had yesterday. The difference is the dew point was slightly higher today. So it felt like 100 at 3 p.m. in Norfolk. Even though the temperature was 93, it felt like 100. We were able to tack 7 extra degrees on the feels like. Yesterday was 93, but it felt like 99 at Norfolk International. Is that semantics? Probably, but just gives you a context that we've had the 2 of the hottest days of the year so far, back to back. And it's a little taxing for those who weren't used to it. They didn't see it coming. But that's what this is all about. It's about first warning weather. We've had now 7 days at 90 plus. We hit on April 6th, we hit on May 1st, we hit on May 16th, and we hit now 4 days in June. And fear not, I'm going to cut back, I'm going to go right back to the radar at the end of this. I'm going to pop back into the radar periodically as I just give you the forecast. I want you to have the nuts and bolts of what to expect tomorrow, because tomorrow is different too. It's not going to be the same day tomorrow. It's going to be vastly different. The average 90-degree days we get about half a month's worth. So we'll keep rounded up, 14 and a half, rounded up to 15. We get about half of July in the 90-degree category so far, and we got about 8 in June. So far, we've had 7 days. 7 days in total. And if you look at spring, we've had, 31 days in the 70s, 36 in the 80s. It's now, we're now transitioning into the 90s. We're like, this is going to be the new thing. And if you don't like the rain tonight, I got news for you. You're going to be hard-pressed to find it for a very long time. So if you have a garden, if you have cucumbers, you have tomatoes, you have a lawn that you're trying to keep manicured, you're going to have to do a lot of watering yourself because there's not a whole lot of hope for rain down the next 7 days. Oh, sure, tonight, yes. But like I said, things change. And if you're not prepared for the change, then you might be caught off guard. I don't want you to be caught off guard. We're tracking storms tonight, severe risk. Say goodbye to the rain, mainly dry over next week. And we're going up again, my friend, triple-digit heat. Feels like next week. We hit 93. There they are. They're pretty simple right there on the screen. You can see that we've had 2 93 days here, and we hit 90 on 2 Saturdays. The last 2 Saturdays, we've been at 90 here in Norfolk. Just kind of a comparison. Now, above normal been 9 days, below normal been 10. If you got a comment, let me know. I'll do my best to say hi. I'm looking at some of the comments that might be coming in as well. Who is somebody saying, ooh, how about above normal weather? For the rest of June, yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's going to be like this now. Now, we get a little bit of a pullback tomorrow because the front comes through. We'll be lucky to hit 85 tomorrow. But then it's up and away as we head towards Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and beyond. And you're going to be like, when's it going to rain? I'm telling you, first warning, you're not going to see a lot of rain after tonight for quite some time. You might want to count the days if you have a rain gauge because it's going to be a while. And this heat wave, oh, it's going to be a long heat wave. But it's good pool weather. It's good pool weather. I think that's worth noting. Maybe you want to kick the soccer ball into the pool like so and just cool off. Maybe you want to head to the beach. Because our temperatures right now, 88 in Norfolk. It's rain-cooled. Newport News, 77 in Hampton. And we've got 70 for a dew point in Hampton, 74 in Currituck. Where do you think these high dew points are? They're mainly in North Carolina right now. That's where the storms are going to feed off of. They're going to move in that direction tonight. So if you haven't had any rain yet in Virginia Beach, it's coming. And if you haven't had any, storms yet, there's a good chance that you could still get that storm before the night is through. 76 in Myrtle Beach for a dew point, 74 in Hatteras. Our dew points may dip a little bit for the next 2 days, but once they go back above 70, it becomes not only unpleasant, but downright miserable. Miserable. That's what's going to happen. And then to take this even further, we've got statewide to the nationwide temperatures. Could be worse. If you're in Vegas, it's 107. And if you're in places like Chicago, it's 83 degrees. I like to show this just to give you a bird's eye view over the next 10 days. Can I show you what's going to happen in 10 days? I could try. All that coloring you see on the East Coast doesn't move much. It doesn't waver, which means we're probably going to be in a holding pattern for highs in the upper 80s, low 90s, maybe mid 90s for the foreseeable future, and that takes us through the end of June. Okay, that's good. That's good intel, right? It is the weekend soon, and then you want to plan. And if you're thinking that things are going to change by the 29th of June, think again. There is really very little evidence. This is the time of year you expect it to be hot. You expect it to be humid. Tonight's low, 72, Virginia Beach, 68, Suffolk. We're coming up on 8 o'clock. I'm going to go back to the radar here next because I want you to see where some of these have expired. But 65, Gloucester, Cape Charles, and then Norfolk, looking for a low around 70 degrees tonight. Here's the big difference. You ready? This is it. This is it in a nutshell. Sunny side up from 4 to 8. You might wake up, there's a few wispy high cirrus clouds. That's it. That's it. The winds tomorrow are pretty tame, northwest and northeast. And it's not as hot, 85, the normal high is 86. That's because the front's coming through tonight. The one that's in Beckley, it's on its way. Now when it leaves us, bye-bye rain. You're going to like day after day after day after day, no rain. You heard it here first. And then 79 bright sunshine, 827. That's got to be useful, right? Sun's up at 5:46. We've now reached the longest days of the year. We get 14 hours. We get 14 hours, 44 minutes, and 22 seconds on Friday. It's tomorrow. It's the longest day of the year. And I know what somebody's saying, oh, there's still 24 hours in a day. Yeah, it's true. But this is like real deal. Daylight hours. And if you're playing your weekend forecast, fear not, it's really looking good. Certainly Saturday's about 5 degrees cooler than Sunday. All right, so let's do this. Let's go back. So I want to check the radar here in a moment. Temperature trend. We come back on the next 5 days. Notice it goes down to 85 tomorrow, 90 on Saturday, 95, 95, 96. That's pretty tough to take. There's just no getting around that. So as I continue to go back to the radar, it's now 8:01. I usually plan to be on here at least 20 minutes, but I want to go further. Plus we have some pizza to give away. But let me go back to the top of my rotation and show you where we are in terms of storms, right? Let's go back to the storms that might be popping up on Juneteenth, because most of us Juneteenth has been a pretty decent day without the rain until tonight, right? It's really been an evening event. And that's kind of what we were talking about. But let me go back to this picture here. This is the one I want you to see. The one in Exmoor has gone away. That was to expire at 8 o'clock, and it appears that's what's happened. There's no, yes, it's still storming. I don't mean to suggest it's sunny and 70, folks. I'm just saying there's no more orange polygon there, which means the Weather Service, allowed it to expire. The severe part has gone away. Still thundering around Chincoteague, it's still downpours, but at least Cape Charles, while you might be getting some thunderstorms, they are not producing 60-mile-an-hour winds anymore. There was the potential a few minutes ago, but not anymore. All right, so that's where things are. There's nothing going on in Suffolk. Nothing going on in Moyock, nothing going on in Corolla or Duck or Hertford right now. What we're watching is if they've added this extra severe thunderstorm watch to 11, it's this system right here that we have to watch very closely. This is over the last 2 hours. You can see now it's working in this direction. And that's why I think you're going to start to see some fill-in. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this area here, right? Norfolk might just kind of get grazed. It's right between the two lines. But Virginia Beach over here, you have until probably about 11 o'clock. I'm pretty sure I know they've kept it to 11 for North Carolina. But the extension, I think, just came down a little more than an hour ago. Does that help? I hope it helps. I got some other notes that might be trickling in here. If you have a note, I'll do my best to put you on the screen. Let me clear my telestrator. I do have the ability to put you on the screen, and now would be a good time to do it, better than any, right? So let's see who we got. Kim's on here. She's got an opinion. She says, I don't like those temps. She says, I don't care for those temperatures. But Kim, we're thankful for you, and we're thankful that you're here. If you want to be recognized, if you have a comment, I'll do my best to bring you back up on the screen. I'm looking at some other comments down the line here. See here, Steve he's where I am. He says weather and free pizza. I call it Marco's Pizza, the best comfort food, right? As long as it's safe for the drivers, they'll deliver. But we were doing even better. We're giving you 50% off. So he says, hey, I'm speaking your language. Thank you, Steve. He gets it. We're just trying to make the conversation a little more interactive. And as I've mentioned before, the bigger picture, as we zoom back out, I'm going to go ahead and take that telestration off because that could sometimes be distracting. But if I zoom back out over here, you'll see that this is basically a storm that's near Raleigh and near Roanoke Rapids, and it's headed toward Northampton. The reason that the counties are a little bit lighter in here, I'm going to go ahead and pull my television. This is our local TV audience, right? Down toward Hatteras, Ocracoke. We have our local TV audience, but because this is the internet, you might be watching from Raleigh. I don't know. So these storm warnings that I'm talking about here might have application for you where you are. This is a military town. People have family everywhere and anywhere, right? You could have family all over the country. We looked at that a few minutes ago. But we want to watch, oh, got a brand new one. Do you see it? Did you see that? Look at that, looky. Oh, this one's brand new. It is brand new. Let's stop the tape. Let's move over. Let's zoom in. I got a new warning, and I got information that's coming in, and it's just shy of Franklin, but I know it's over Emporia. I can see that. That one runs now until 8:45. How do I know? Because I can circle it. That's what we see right here, Emporia. That affects about 13,000 people. This storm is moving to the east. And let me check my weather feed, so to speak, so I can get you the latest update and we can do a track, because that's what's important during this time, as you might be bracing for a storm. And just want you to know, let's see here, 8:04, this came down, it's moving. It's got 60-mile-an-hour winds. This is northwestern Northampton in northeastern North Carolina. It's Greensville County in southeastern Virginia. It's the city of Emporia. It affects Southampton in southeastern Virginia, southeastern Sussex, and southeastern Brunswick County until 8:45. It's near Ebony. How many of you know where Ebony is? At 8:03, Weather Service said this was near Ebony, moving east at 55 miles per hour. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and this. We know that we got the information. It doesn't take much just to get a track, because based on the movement of that storm, you can see there's a lot of boxes on here. But this way, I can do a track. We could move this at precisely at the 55 miles per hour to the east that it's expected to be moving. So if we just a rough estimate, right? Where's 55? Oh, there it is. Drop it. There we go. So that would be around Gaston at 8:12, Brewers Crossroads at 8:14, and Emporia at 8:22, Adams Grove at 8:31. Does that help? I'm just, we could do this all day. I just don't know at what point it's just like, okay, I've had my storm, I'm ready to move on. So I'm going to go back. We'll come back here. I'm going to go back and finish the presentation, because, what better way to keep it interactive, right? I also have some pizza to give away. Might as well do that now. As many of you know, I've been doing these cool spotlights. I go to towns and I take pictures, and that's kind of what you're seeing behind me, rotate on rotation. But the free Marco's Pizza for a year, the winner is, are you ready for this? Jennifer Hardy from Portsmouth. Congratulations, Jennifer. You have just won a free pizza for a year certificate. What does that look like? It looks like this. It's one large, one topping pizza monthly for the next year for free. And I'm excited for you. I think some people are very excited for you. And let's say, hey, let's just throw in some Confetti, right? You just won free Marco's Pizza for a year. We are also giving away, as many of you know, we're also giving away free pizza, 50% off. Just use our promo code, WTKR50. It's just a nice way to give back to the community, which Marco's has done. As long as I've known them, they've been very community-oriented. So that's where things are in terms of the storms, the pizza. Let's get back to the final part of the forecast, which includes the 7-day. Because I know some of you are like, I didn't know we could do that. Yeah, we can look at the 7-day. We've already looked at a good number of these maps. So let's start with this one here. Oops, let's go back to this one. We'll start, because we left off here, right? This is where, to make this first, and we'll go ahead and submit this, and we'll put this back on the screen so that you can finally make sense of it all. That's what we're trying to do here with the gizmos and the gadgets that are in front of me. All right, so this is where our temperatures are. We're going to be stair-stepping back to mid-90s as early as Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Now, you might not like this, but this is where we're going. Heat index back to triple digits starting Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So if you liked it today, you liked it yesterday, you're going to love next week. You're getting a little bit of a break. And look at this. Are you kidding me? 10% chance. You mean there's a 90% chance I don't get rain after tonight? Bingo. And probably you'll be hard-pressed to even get that 10%. It's really going to be hard to get rain in this new pattern that's taking shape around here. And you can see, at least for the rest of tonight, maybe a quarter inch, half inch in spots. The rainfall amounts between now and tonight doesn't look all that impressive, but when the dew points are this high, you typically get heavier rain amounts. Eastern Shore, it's now 8:09. Eastern Shore, very high UV index tomorrow. The sun will be very bright. Looking for 84 in Bloxham, 83 in Onancock, Exmoor 83, Cape Charles 81. For a high temperature tomorrow, looks great. Beautiful day in Nags Head, Manio at 80, 80 in Kill Devil Hills, and Hatteras at 80, and Ocracoke at 81. Another way to look at this with the Storm Prediction Center are these colors. We talked about level 3 was added in the Philadelphia area today. That was newly added for numerous. We've had scattered severe storms, so we've been shaded in yellow for much of Hampton Roads. But until 8 o'clock tomorrow, and until they pull the plug, these are the colors that will prevail for Bismarck, Minneapolis, because you might have family. If you're in the military, have family in other parts of the country. Looks like isolated in the deep south. It's this area from Atlantic City to Philadelphia, Baltimore, D.C. that's been getting hammered with the numerous amount of storms. And it's no picnic here. I know we haven't had much in Virginia Beach or Elizabeth City yet, but that's all about to change in a very short period of time. We have until 11 o'clock to watch it. And the severe weather threat here, you don't typically see a level 3 in Fargo, but that's where things are today. Right? Fargo for Friday, that's tomorrow, and Bismarck, they will be ground zero for the strongest storms, potentially tomorrow. Numerous storms will be firing up there and back toward Minneapolis, St. Paul. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here from D.C. to Virginia Beach or to the Outer Banks on Friday. And Saturday, because we don't have any rain, you might have to go all the way up to Green Bay, Wisconsin to find some isolated severe storms. Bismarck too. And maybe for Western New York, but still a quiet day on Saturday. So here's a recap. I wanted to recap it on camera for 2 reasons. One, because what you're seeing over here is that line that's near Roanoke Rapids. It's all going to spread up to Elizabeth City. What time is this? This is 9 o'clock. That's in less than an hour. So there's going to be a little firing line of storms that may not even be at your doorstep yet, but this is where the potential is. That's what we're seeing. If we take it one step further, that's 9:30. Look at the burgundy here, just approaching Elizabeth City. And then it really moves up into maybe Back Bay and into Elizabeth City and Duck. That's 10 o'clock tonight. That's a lot. We take it full screen. This is what we have the potential to see, and that's why I said it might not be a bad idea to bring in the seat cushions, bring in the patio furniture, and secure the trash cans. Because if the trees go down, you lose power, you might even need a flashlight. Because I don't know how long power would take to get back up. As far as midday, tomorrow looks gorgeous. Nothing but sunshine to finish out the day, and then we move into your Saturday. Your Saturday means something to you. You work hard all week, you look forward to the weekend. It's going to be sunny, mostly sunny, and very, very warm as we approach about a 90-degree day, Saturday, 95 on Sunday. So here's your Friday morning forecast. Once these storms get out of here, you're going to wake up to a scene like this. Ooh, that's nice. And you're going to find highs. You're going to find highs around 86 in Portsmouth, so something to take into account. Not bad. 88 Suffolk, 82 for Virginia Beach, 88 Williamsburg. Good looking day tomorrow across the board, even though you might have storms now. Matthews, 87. Chesapeake, 86. Corolla, 79. That's what I expect to find there. 79 in Nags Head. Does this make sense? So we're looking at a cooler day. I mean, it's still warm. The normal high is 86. But many of us will be in the low to mid 80s. And here's your first warning. WTKR News 3 7-day forecast. Mostly sunny Saturday, 95. Sunday, 95. Monday, it's like you can't get a break because it's going to feel like triple digits. It will feel like triple digits. And that's why it's so important that you take care of each other, take care of yourself, know your body. If you run, I always like to say, if you usually run 3 miles a day and you're in the military, he's like, that's probably another. Maybe run 1 in this kind of humidity. Maybe you're a walker. Maybe you walk 3 miles. In this kind of humidity, maybe consider doing 1 mile instead of 3. Just don't overexert yourself. And you say, well, I made it through today, but then we got like 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it's going to keep coming. These days, it's like dog days of summer have come in early this year. That's just a lot to take in. I appreciate your time. Let me see if I have some time for some comments. It's got some comments. I know there's some comments on here. Let's see here. Oh, I got another note from Kim. She's saying congratulations to Jennifer. Did I say Jennifer? Yeah, Jennifer. Jennifer Harding of Portsmouth. She's won free pizza. All right, yay! So confetti. Thank you for the. See, everybody's rooting for each other. That's what we got to do, right? You know, when we get a hurricane or a tropical storm someday. Remember this? It's been 9 months since Hurricane Helene hit Western North Carolina. They had 31 inches. I took notes. They took 31 inches of rain fell in Yancey County. That's just about an hour northeast of Asheville. 31 inches in a period of like hours. That's about 8 months worth of rain. 7 to 8 months worth of rain in hours. And do you think they know their neighbors' names now? I think they probably do. And they need to, because you got to pull each other together. Because sometimes these weather events, you lose power, you got to help each other out. So we're trying to help each other out with pizza, right? We're trying to give everybody a free promo code that might be of help to you. And I do appreciate you, Kim, and your note on here. Denmark is here. He says, congratulations, Jennifer. He's thrilled as I am. We got another winner. We've given away, I think, 22 certificates now. And of course, don't underscore the 50%. I mean, over here, look at this. You can, anything you get, whether it be hot wings, whether it be subs, salads, the Magnifico, the Pozzoli. You might say, I don't know what a Pozzoli looks like. Well, that looks like this, right? If maybe that's what you are craving, you get half off. We just saved, I can't cut your grocery bills in half, but I can have some pull at getting your pizza bill cut in half. And they're open till midnight, Fridays and Saturdays. And I'm talking specifically these 5 locations. They're the ones participating in the 50 off. WTKR 50. And if you want to register, very easy to do. This website right here, if you want to be next week's winner for free pizza for a year, WTKR.com/Marcos. All right, I've gone on long enough. I know that this is a great conversation to have, because I know that what we're doing here, we're trying something new. I mean, if it fits your lifestyle, because let's face it, everybody lives on their phone now. And sometimes they watch this later and they go, what happened? How did I lose power? And then they go, oh, Aldrich tracked that storm. He was right on. I lost power. Something like that. That's why this has some utility. I think maybe you do too. So let me know in the comments section. I'll do my best to go back and review it, even when I'm not physically on the screen at that very, very moment. Anyway, remember, keep the conversation going. Very important. Keep the conversation going. Remember, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or serious. Every day is a gift, so make the most of it in your neighborhood. We'll see you next week. Take care.